Hey, everybody, and welcome to the very first episode of Council Sessions. I'm David Cottingham with my Inside the Force co-host, Casey Cooley.
Hi, how's it going, everybody?
Here we go, Case.
Yeah, good.
We're trying something else. We're going to be putting these out. These are little short 10, 15-minute discussions that we're going to have about all things Star Wars, but specifically to basically one question. We're going to answer one
Yeah.
question the best that we can. And of course, there's going to be some talks about it and whatnot, but we're going to try to make this pretty regular here on our YouTube channel. And we'll have some different people to kind of mix this up a little bit. But if you got burning questions about anything Star Wars, this is where we're going to answer those questions. So to start this off in episode 1 here, we've been kind of kicking around ideas for the first show here, and Casey kind of had an idea. Go ahead, Case. I'll let you set this up.
Oh man. So yeah, I think it's a question that people always have conversations about, but it's about who is the greatest Jedi or who is the best Jedi out of all that we've seen, and movies, but any books, comics, anything like that. So that's what we'll talk about. But there are different ways you can say who is the best Jedi. Now, for me, basically, when I think of who the best Jedi is, and actually, I feel like my reasoning has changed recently, but I feel like the best Jedi is one who demonstrates what the Jedi should be like who would be the ideal, who represents what the ideal Jedi is in terms of, regardless of how dogmatic they are, regardless if they're like very 100% true to the code, they just do the right thing and they are true to the core of what a Jedi needs to be. Because throughout the movies, we always hear about the Jedi are keepers of the peace, not soldiers. And there are some Jedi who straight up are soldiers, and then there are Jedi who are keepers of the peace to a fault. So it's like there's a careful balance there. So we've seen many different types of Jedi, many different types, whether they're true to the code or not. Regardless of all that, who is the best Jedi in terms of... I mean, it's a very objective question.
No, it is.
Who's the best Jedi in terms of what the Jedi should be?
Right.
The best representation of one.
I would easily, if you would ask me this for almost all my life, I would always tend to say Yoda.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the reason why he's my favorite character, is that I felt like, especially through the original trilogy, I felt like Yoda was so perfect in a sense and so wise, where he couldn't do anything wrong. He knew all the answers, and that's the only reason why he was able to survive. Like,
Right.
He was the last Jedi to survive besides Luke at the time, is what we knew about, right?
Right.
So when we went into the prequels, I remember thinking, okay, now we're gonna see how wise this Jedi is. And he did live up to that in my mind. I mean, I think he made the best decisions he could. I mean, it's debatable about Anakin, training Anakin, but I think he always wanted to make the decisions based on the council group. Now, ultimately, he was the Grand Master, so the decisions really fell on him, and which made him a little more risky to and susceptible to failure. But so I would have went on and said Yoda, but man, there's Obi-Wan has really started going up in my ladder as far as Jedi go.
Yeah, for a while I was in the Obi-Wan camp. I think of all the Jedi, Obi-Wan is my favorite. I love old Ben Kenobi. I love Ewan McGregor, young Obi-Wan. Because he is the Boy Scout, which I love that. Like I've always been drawn to characters like that who are just straight as an arrow. I'm just a good guy doing the right thing. I'm, gonna listen and do my job and be the hero. And he always is that. He's always follows the council, listens to them, and is always. But what we've seen him with the Siege of Mandalore is really interesting, just because how he recognizes that the council they don't always make the right decision, but he still follows them. And he's like with Yoda, he's survived. He's survived Order 66. He basically probably would have survived the fight with Vader in A New Hope. He very well probably could have. He sacrificed himself, so we'll never know really if he could have or not. But so he very well could be the best Jedi. Now, honestly, recently, I've kind of changed my perspective where it's not Obi-Wan anymore. One reason of that is the fact that there are situations where he follows the council to a fault, and he kind of doesn't listen. I feel like he is very compassionate, but there are times where he should perhaps maybe make a different choice. We saw the time in Siege of Mandalore where he could have helped Ahsoka on Mandalore, but instead he goes and tries to save the Chancellor because it's what the Council wants. So it's such a hard side to take. But a big thing for me too is in Dark Disciple. Obi-Wan was like, correct me if I'm wrong though, it's been a while. He was with the other Jedi when they made the decision to send Quinlan Vos after Dooku.
Yeah.
Like Obi-Wan was there knowingly part of that decision.
Yeah, he's on the council at that point, I think.
Yeah. Yep. To send Quinlan Vos to assassinate Dooku. So that's a bad decision, I feel like.
Yeah.
It's tough, but no doubt is he powerful and wise and a survivor and a hero. So, but recently I feel like I'm leaning very recently to Qui-Gon as being the best Jedi. Maybe not even to the point where he didn't realize his full potential. Honestly, I think his life was taken short because of his fight with Maul. But we're finding more Jedi that are like Ahsoka and Qui-Gon who defy the council because they find those faults with the council, that they won't always do what seems to be the right thing. They always do something that's the dogmatic and by the book, for fear of not falling into traps of the dark side. They won't do this. They won't show this kind of compassion. They won't step in this situation because it's not the Jedi way, as they say. But shouldn't the Jedi way be always unconditional compassion? So you see Qui-Gon make certain decisions about when to step in and when not. Master and Apprentice, I think, was such an eye-opening book.
Yeah,
for his character.
It was. Mm-hmm.
And I really need to read it again because his understanding of the Force and what the Jedi should be doing, how the Jedi should be studying the Force, looking at these prophecies and operating is different than the Council, but it's one that I really cling to, and I feel like is something that the Jedi should be. Like they should be a little less firm grasp on necessarily the code, and more so on what it's like what he says in Episode 1 to Obi-Wan, about being here and now in the present kind of thing. Obi-Wan says, well, Master Yoda says you should be mindful of the future. He says, well, not at the expense of kind of what's happening. So it's like he's very much like, this is what it doesn't matter what we're taught all the time. It's like, this is what matters is what's happening now. How should we best serve the people now? So you see that through Master and Apprentice. You see that through Episode 1. I will do what I must, Obi-Wan. It's like, don't defy the council. Right. It's like, I'll do what I must. It's like, so he has a certain perspective that I cling to a lot in terms of what a Jedi should be. And honestly, it's like his understanding of the Force and what the council should be doing aligns so much with Anakin and Ahsoka and Dooku, even for that matter. they share a lot of these same frustrations. They all reacted differently to it. Qui-Gon, I feel like, and Ahsoka, but Qui-Gon's really the only one that has reacted so appropriately to the Council. His understanding of the Force led him to be the first, as we know, to discover how to become one with the Force.
Yeah, that's right.
So his journey has taken him in such a different path. So so definitely recently I've been much more inclined to say he's the best Jedi, but he was defeated by Maul, who was killed by Obi-Wan.
Well, maybe he's not the best swordsman, but
yeah, maybe not. So
I'll follow that, and I'll actually throw two, and I'll tell you which one I'm going to pick, because I actually, hearing you say that and kind of contemplating too, it's like I think you could easily debate that Anakin is
sure
because of those same reasons that he found fault with what the Council kept asking him to do, right?
Yes.
Especially with spying on the Chancellor.
Yes. Yeah.
I think that he figured out that compassion can involve love. That you can still be a Jedi, but still have that love. Now, of course, Yoda would argue that that leads to possession and it leads to fear of losing. But if a Jedi can control those things, I mean, he said it. He's like, compassion, we are encouraged to love because we are supposed to have compassion about life and living. And so, I mean, just think about it. If there was no Sidious and he just fell in love, he probably would be okay.
Sure.
Right? I mean, that temptation is what drove him to be to the dark side. So I would almost lean towards Anakin, but I think you actually said it. I'm actually leaning towards Ahsoka.
Yeah.
I know she never became a Jedi per se, a Jedi Knight, but she had the mindset and the understanding to walk away from something that wasn't right.
Right. Yeah.
The Council was not right, and there was something that was not, that didn't fit with her, and she made the tough decision. One that only 20 have done. Right. I guess she counts as the 21st to
20. Yeah.
I guess I don't know.
As far as I remember, the 20 have been masters, right?
Oh, right. Okay.
Maybe?
So
right?
masters that have left or something, or knights, or at least Jedi, maybe.
Yeah.
Not Padawans.
Right.
So, but her knowledge, even again we saw the last episode where she's talking to Rex, like, she repeated what Mace had said. We're keepers of the peace, not soldiers.
Yeah.
We should be finding a different way to handle this. And that's pretty strong words from somebody that's apparently still a Padawan, right?
Yeah.
So I would actually, I don't know. I would actually lean towards Ahsoka. But I could say Anakin, even, I mean, he is the chosen one, apparently, right? So,
I don't doubt that Anakin was probably the most powerful Jedi. A lot of it because it was midichlorian count, and then he just had a natural ability to be powerful. Like he could have been definitely the most powerful Jedi ever, but that's to say, obviously, what is powerful in terms of a Jedi, because seeking that power is wrong. But given time, I think he could have become the wisest, the most skilled, I guess is a better way to put it, Jedi.
Yeah, he would have been on the Council eventually.
Yeah.
I mean,
and what's so interesting to me, Ahsoka, yes, has those same qualities that it's like of Qui-Gon and Anakin, but she succeeded in the sense of, first of all, she seems to be more skilled than, at least as a swordsman, than Qui-Gon. She's definitely seems to be stronger willed maybe than Anakin, because she resists a lot of the temptations, like from Maul, that kind of a thing. But so she walked away from the Jedi because she saw that they were wrong, but that doesn't necessarily, I mean, to their standard, to the Jedi Council standard, she fell. but that's to say the Jedi Council standard is probably wrong.
Right.
Because they are blinded in a sense. They've definitely like I'm watching the prequels again. It's made the fourth weekend basically this Star Wars weekend, but it's just from episode one, the start of episode one. It's like the council has been blinded by the dark side, and they are making wrong decisions. Qui-Gon sees through it. Ahsoka sees through it. Anakin sees through it, but he's also motivated a lot by his drive to save Padme and his love for Padme. So he's definitely pushed and pushed by Palpatine in bad ways to see through the lies of the Jedi, or not the lies, but the bad decisions of the Jedi. But again, to me, it goes back to Qui-Gon. How if Qui-Gon had survived, I feel like he would have been a better master for Anakin and would have led him through his trials and temptations better, because he would have understood what he's going through. He would have been able to talk with him and say, "Hey, yes, the council's wrong. There's a way to go around it. Then straight up define them. I defied them in certain ways, but there's a way to navigate. Go in this gray area." Obi-Wan was straight up. Obi-Wan straight up, listen to the council, do what the council says. But Qui-Gon would have known how to go against that. Ahsoka, same thing. Like Ahsoka had Anakin as a teacher, so she kind of also had good guidance to see past the council. But
because she saw Anakin defy the council several times too, and not go along with them.
Yeah, so it is.
So you're probably right. I mean, I think Qui-Gon with the Course Master and Apprentice that came out. I think it's becoming more and more apparent that he had the right mindset of a Jedi, what a Jedi was supposed to be and was supposed to do. So
I think
probably right.
I think Dooku could have been the best Jedi. True. He just was very vulnerable and was tempted. He succumbed a little bit more to the dark side during his training, and he definitely, obviously, after he left. But think of who he trained. His two apprentices that we know of. There was Qui-Gon, and I'm honestly drawing a big blank on the other guy from Master and Apprentice. But they're all very similar in terms of they are their own independent people, their own type of Jedi, see through the council, and yet they still find ways to work with them. Obi-Wan is the best Jedi, but probably just not. He probably should not have been a teacher. I don't know. It's such a hard thing, because he maybe just a different type of student. Like Anakin definitely learned a lot from Obi-Wan, just not that he just wasn't right for him in the moments where Anakin was questioning his purpose in the council.
Yeah.
But Ahsoka, definitely. I think it's tough to say the best Jedi, but because she wasn't one, but she definitely has that potential.
And of course, we don't have all the stories from all the other council members that are on that. Plo Koon and Ki-Adi-Mundi, and more from Mace Windu. Any of these, even Luminari. I mean, it's just like all these different Jedi on there. We just don't know their full backstory and their full stories. So we could bring them in as well and talk about those. But because Kit Fisto is a master. I mean, you got so many of them.
But this was like the Jedi that are so easily fall into the trap of becoming soldiers, which most of them have. Like you said, Ahsoka felt wrong by that. Qui-Gon didn't like it either, even though he was in the Clone Wars. But in Episode 1, he very much warned the Queen Amidala, of like, "Hey, we're not going to fight this war for you.
Yes,
we're going to let you do it."
And those words hold so much more weight now.
Yes, yeah.
Based on what we've seen happen in the Clone Wars, absolutely, that's actually a very good point. Like, we're not fighting this war. We'll protect you, and that's it.
Yeah, but here they are, generals in a war, leading armies. Like, why is no one like stopping it? Hey, look at what we're doing.
Yes,
they just keep going forward. They just keep going through the war. So I mean, definitely. Ahsoka, yeah, I think Ahsoka and Qui-Gon. I think they both are what a Jedi should be. Given time, given better guidance, maybe they could have. They could
Yeah,
have. I'm very excited to see High Republic, to see what these type of
I
Jedi are.
know. Very
Because I feel
true.
like it's going to be a different type of
Hmm.
Jedi than what we've seen before.
Very true. Maybe those are the keepers of the peace.
Yeah, yeah, they might be
Which we'll
truly
see.
what a Jedi should be.
So tell us who your favorite or not favorite, who do you think
Yeah,
is the best Jedi? Let us know,
yeah.
and we can keep this debate going and discussion going on our YouTube channel. So that's it for this episode. Again, short, sweet, and to the point. Just wanted to say this is we're debuting this on Star Wars Day. Hope everybody's enjoying themselves. Look for another one. We're going to drop another one here later today. Just if you got questions, send them to us. Of course, we're going to still keep doing our normal show each week, Inside the Force. So go to our YouTube channel, Inside the Force. Search that on YouTube, and you can get that show as well as this and many others that are going to populate on this channel. So, all right. That's it.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Thanks, Case.
Yeah, thank you. See you, everybody.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. And again, follow along, and we'll talk to you guys soon. May the Force be with you.